Hello everybody, welcome to video 2. This is going to be a comparison video. This video is going to be divided into 2 parts. So if you're more just want to hear the objective, like kind of factual side of why I chose the Kia over something else, go ahead and fast forward now. The first part is going to be more of a subjective, more personally, why I chose the Borrego over something else. Getting right into the sentimental value. In 2011, my family bought a Kia Borrego, 2009 obviously, in red, and to say I owned one would be kind of an understatement. I'll put a photo up now of how young I was. I grew up in a Kia Borrego. I can't even count how many road trips. We towed a trailer up to South Dakota, which is 1,200 miles. Towed a trailer up to North California. Again, I don't know how many miles that is. We left from Phoenix. 0 problems. Only problem was the gas mileage. We didn't get the best gas mileage, but you're towing a trailer. You know, it's a car I learned to drive in. When I was 15, got my learner's permit. It was a car I took my driving test in. I parallel parked to this beast into a spot, no practice. I went to all 4 proms in that Borrego. My mom took me to my first date in that car. The car was stolen twice. The first time a homeless person overdosed in it. Not to the point they died, but overdosed, and then another one of the druggies called the police, reported it. We got the car back. I still remember how emotional we were to get that car back. Crashed that one twice. So I was inside watching YouTube one time, and my mom came in. She's like, "Simon, one of the neighbors just hit your car." I'll put a photo of the damage up now. I don't know if they're gonna be able to get past. They did. Awesome. There's like a cliff over there. Yeah, so the first time inside watching YouTube. Second time, it was like 1 in the morning. I was going on a night trip up to Flagstaff. I drifted it into a ditch, split the radiator, split the oil cooler, split the trans cooler. But I was so far from the freeway that I knew that the tow truck wasn't going to come pick me up. So I had to drive it back to the freeway. It wasn't that far, maybe 6 or 7 miles, but no oil, no trans fluid, and no coolant. And it made it back and was completely fine. We bought all new, coolers, put them in. The car was perfect. And it wasn't a huge deal because I was planning on camping for the night anyways. So I just drove it back to the freeway and camped for the night. Like, this car has actually been in an accident since I've owned it. I don't think there was one before I owned it. I was pumping my gas, and this guy was in a parking spot and backed right into it. His bumper was split and fell off. This was a Honda Odyssey, 2014, 2015, somewhere in there. His car was like, bumper ripped off. And this, I couldn't even tell if there was a scratch. So I was like, I'm not going to bother calling the police, I've got to get to work. Getting into even a more kind of personal note, like, yeah, I had, a family car. That's cool, but once I got the car, like, it did become my car. It was the first reliable car I owned that was also fun to drive. So I'll show a photo of my first car. It was an Audi Allroads, $2,100. Unreliable as heck. I mean, the air suspension had the frame on the ground every time I drove it. I'll show a photo now of the Kia in the background of that car. But that was the car. I mean, we drove the Borrego to buy my first car. Like, it was there through everything. Yeah, so it was the car that we took to go buy my first car. Then my second car, which my family was out of town when I bought this. A Dodge Magnum, which I somehow spent $12,000 in repairs on this car in the 12 months that I owned it. $2,700. Fun car to drive. Not a car I would take to Flagstaff. Totally, completely unreliable. I'll show a few photos now of that car with the Borrego in the background. I mean, every time the Magnum broke down, I would ask to borrow the Borrego to go pick up parts for it. So the Borrego was just kind of always there. And then, this was my third or fourth car at this point. I got a Toyota Camry. Farthest I ever drove it was Tucson from Phoenix, 120 miles, something around there. Super reliable car. Not the kind of car you get in and you're like, I'm gonna go for a road trip today. It just, the most luxurious part about it was that it had cruise control. And again, the Kia in the background of that. So once I got the Borrego and I learned to start off-roading, it was a new level of freedom that not even when I got my license I experienced. It was like, I'll show some photos now, and I have videos up of just dedicated off-roading expeditions in that car, but just total new level of freedom. That car had 170,000 miles of memories, and I didn't want to get rid of it. I just wanted to convert it to four-wheel drive, or buy a four-wheel drive Borrego. So I was talking with my girlfriend, and I was like, I don't want a different car. I just want this car, but four-wheel drive. And during this period, I bought a Mazda 6, which was a mistake, and felt totally landlocked. Like, that level of freedom was just gone. So I got the actual red two-wheel drive Kia back from the person I let borrow it, and really went to the drawing board of converting that car to four-wheel drive. Called every fabricator in Arizona I could think of, and every off-road shop, and I was like, so I got a really rare car. And they were like, okay, well, what kind of car is it? It's a Kia. And once the Kia name came out, it was like, oh no, we don't work on those. Try, and then they'd give me another number to call. And I kept doing that until I couldn't. Because these are body on frame, I was actually gonna buy a salvage title one and then just put the body from the red one onto the four-wheel drive one. I was also looking into solid axle swaps and four-wheel drive conversions, and just anyone that would hear me out. Money wasn't really a factor. It kind of was, but it wasn't, because I figured if I bought a $20,000 Land Cruiser, I could just spend $20,000, convert that one to solid axles, and throw a four-wheel drive in it. So ultimately I gave up. No one would entertain the idea of that. So then I started looking at other options. And this is where it gets more fact-based, more objective in my comparison, rather than just emotionally I wanted another Borrego. Alrighty, everybody. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and if you guys could, leave a comment on how I can improve. This is my first time kind of doing these videos. Thanks. Bye-bye.